Beautiful land. We got this parcel as part of the settlement deal with the state in Act 14 in 1995, when the state had owed us all of that back stuff. This came as part of that. So it wasn't always a part of our inventory. That's why we haven't really done anything with it yet. Right now, it's under some month-to-month, like right of entry agreements for pastoral on both sides. And Jeremiah Healy was doing a program up there, but no longer. So go ahead. I looked on the internet, and why is Akaka Falls so, I just couldn't believe the traffic that was there. 30,000 vehicles a year go up that road. And it's because, number one, it's like the loop trail at the park. So our land is right below the state park, adjacent to the state park, really. This is the only place you can get 2 waterfalls that's over 400 feet tall, that you can walk to it within half an hour, right? And that you can drive to it. So it's totally accessible. It's kind of near Hilo, so that's why it's so popular. But our land is on the way up. I just wanted to flash some pictures. These are actual pictures on the land that we're taking on the left. These, as we were doing our site visits, these are what we saw. Go ahead. Okay, so besides the land, agriculture requires people. The people that we're looking at for this project, some of you might have got your letters, are the first 500 people on the ag wait list. I mean, deeply personal at this point. 500, the top 500 people. We actually wrote a letter to them and said, hey, you're top 500, we got this thing, we got this project, please come to this first meeting. So we want to involve you in planning your homestead community. So the letters went out, and we're going to meet with them next week, and I'll give you the information if you guys want to check it out. But so you guys are, if you're lessees, and for the leaders, we're telling you now what we're doing is we're working with the applicants. Okay. And the other thing is, because there's an existing community at Honomu, which, by the way, are kind of freaking out that we would even, in that we're bringing a Hawaiian homestead community right in their setting. We're going to be trying to pull them along parallel. We'll be meeting with them and giving them information, try to allay this concern so this thing doesn't, get into a conflict mode. So we'll be working with the community throughout. We'll be also working with the beneficiaries, and that is the first 500 on the ag wait list. If you know anybody on the top 500, by the way, that didn't get a letter, it's because we don't have the right address, so they need to come into the district office and give us the correct address, because this is their chance to get an award. Don't let them lose out. It just pains me to do that. I will. You can ask. So this is the top 500. I noticed that they applied between 1952 and 1985. The average age is 66 years old. This will come in significantly when we look at programs, because if I'm 66 and I can't get out every day to do my thing on the land, then I need my support system. So how does that work? So what we know is it requires land, people, and supports. And so what this is, the Subsistence Agriculture Homestead, is really this whole support kind of program. Before, as you know, we issued leases, and we said, good luck, right? Right now, we know it's not, well, okay. So what we want to do is develop a supported program. So our goal here is not about houses, sorry to say. The goal here is agriculture. That's the focus here, it's a subsistence ag community. We just changed, you remember, the administrative rules for subsistence ag? I don't know if you remember coming through, I think it was last year, anyway, we just changed that, so it's prime for implementation. Just got to change, and basically the ag rules go, subsistence ag rules go right now that it got to be less than 3 acres, a lot, right? It has to be used for ag, right, within 3 years. But you don't have to do a farm plan now, okay? You don't have to do a farm plan, and you can live on the land, but it's not required, it's optional. So it's ag, that's the focus, think ag. try to think of a different kind of ag, not the ag that we've implemented in the past. We want to add some other features to this program. The other goal of this program, right, so is to develop the support services. We have 5% of our ag lessees are actually farmers. So how can we make that 100%? How can we make them successes? What we're doing is, because as you know, we're they call it exempt. We're exempt from zoning, county zoning. When you say exempt, people think you're getting away with something. Say that we have exclusive land use authority. The commission has exclusive land use authority over Hawaiian homelands. Exclusive land use authority means that they're making the calls on zoning. So when we look at rural subdivision standards that the county has, we say, oh, that's a lot of money to do full-on roads, curbs, that whole thing. Is that really what we need for a rural place like Honomu? Like, no. And for more improvements, that means more money, and that means more time. What we're trying to do is, because we have a relationship with the county already, we have an MOU in place, a memorandum of understanding, which, by the way, is the only county that we do, so that's a good thing. We want to use that good relationship and say, hey, can we look at like rural subdivision standards? And so far they're saying yes. So it's all good that way. That'll lessen the cost, and we can create more of a rural kind of homestead community. Okay, why agriculture? People can start with the ag wait list. We haven't awarded ag in 20 years, but I like to start here. It's about the act, about implementing the act, which is about saving our people, saving a dying race. It's about rehabilitation of our people, and how. Thank you. We need to focus there. It's like, it's about our people. It's about that legacy. It's about resilience and sustainability, right? So put that up first. That's why agriculture, because all of these things require agriculture. We're going to be resilient and sustainable. We have to learn how to deal with agriculture, feeding our people, growing the land, water, the whole thing. We need to be experts again in managing our resources. The other reasons why we want to focus on agriculture is that because, as you know, for all these past 5 administrations, the focus has been on getting everybody in residential homes, which is good. I mean, not to say that need isn't there, it is there. But what's happened to it is that we've been excluding ag. So we kind of had to leave ag by this wayside. So that's why we want to, during that time, the ag list has gotten longer than the residential list. So now it's the biggest list we have. Again, I was saying, when we do our surveys, we're finding out that 5% are actually doing something with ag on their ag lands. So that's not a really good use of lands. It's not about blaming, pointing fingers either. It's about providing programmatic support so we can have that success. So yeah, that's the opportunity here. Let's see, what do we need to have this in place? What do we need from day 1, day 2, and on over, so that we can ensure that this household, this family, is successful on their land? And I'm a planner, so I like this next one. When you plan a community, integrate those ag support facilities, right? How do you design that out so that it all supports each other? So this is a facility thing. It's like building communities without a community center. Why do we do that? We need to build that into it. Where is the pico of this community? So that's an opportunity to look at that. We already have dedicated staff. I don't know how many of you guys know this. We pay CTAR, right? You guys know, right? We have an agent that we pay that works full-time for Hawaiian Homelands ag lessees. We need to make that a bigger part of the equation, but it's right over here in Hilo, kind of close by. Which gets me to the next point. Why are we looking at Honomu? Okay, bottom line here is we want success. So we're looking at ag, we looked at all of our lands, actually statewide, and we said, what area has the most characteristics that would ensure success? And Honomu came up, flying colors, number one. Why is that? It's accessible. The road goes right through it. We don't even have to build the road. It's already there, right? But actually, almost right in the middle, too. That land, so like 80% of that part, those lands that you saw, are rated in all of these like land ratings, prime agricultural. Not D's and F's, but the A's, right? Prime. So usually we're looking at the D's and F's and saying, what are we going to do with this land? This prime ag. Right? I mean, I know we're going into drought and all of that, but this is a lot of rain here. Right? A lot of rain that falls over there. See the falls. Access to support network. Not only about CTAR, but there's other ag stuff going around in that community that hopefully our people can hook up to. So we don't know, but we want to explore how do we integrate our homestead ag people with the larger farming community as well. Again, I talked about the good relationship with the county, so hopefully you can make that smooth transition into this homestead community. And not only do our ag lists are big, but this island, this one. Not only has ag surpassed residential on the wait list, but this one in particular, there's that demand. So for those reasons, Honomu is going to be the place where we get to roll out subsistence agriculture homestead community. Try to help envision. So just time frame, big blocks of time frame. How do we get to awards? Because I think that's the question that most people would be asking. You know, I want to also say that we already have done procurement. So we have a master consultant online that is helping us do studies. They're doing studies, archaeology, you know, the engineering, take a look at what we can do. And we're basically in the slot right now of doing a conceptual plan. What are the conceptual alternatives for this land? Well, you know, let's come up with some ideas on how this stuff would come into the lay of the land, right? How would you actually design it come up with some alternatives? So that's where we are on the conceptual plan. Once we get it honed into like, okay, this is a great idea here, then we can also be looking at the environmental impacts. Because as you know, we all have to do environmental assessments, right? Because it's state land and we have to do that. So when we have a better idea of what we're doing, then we can assess impacts, try to do that as closely together as possible. So it's shorter, right? The environmental assessment. And at the same time, usually we wait, and then finally we get the master plan going to actually do the meets and bounds and the road surveys and whatnot. This time we're saying, you know, once we get the concept down, you guys can start engineers already. You can get your engineers online so we can do this concurrently. Again, saving time. Trying something, right? Try to see if we can do this. But at the same time, we're actually doing 2 time frames in one as we march through. So, things, hopefully it goes all good. By the end of 2018. Sorry. So, help us think about vision that. Hope that we can do this. Getting really excited about it. Now, also, and this last line is really important, as I talked about the ag supports that need to be in place. So it's not after we put them on and they've been there 5 years and nothing's happened, and no, we want it to come now beforehand. Let's figure out how the program supports are going to be in place from the day one, and move together with that. So that line is coming, or even the awards. So this is like very general, broad brush strokes, right? Would like to give you a little bit more information. I mean, we're going to be talking with the first 500 on the ag wait list, and Tuesday, right here. You're welcome to come to check it out, but I needed to roll this out so that you folks know that this is. The other thing is you're going to hear about our meeting with the Honomu community. That's going to be on Monday at Honomu Gym. Same thing, basically rolling this project out. And we're just trying to keep them informed, and allay their concerns, right, about this homestead community. So that will be ongoing as we're going through this process.